Hello, my name is Miguel Neves, and in this short video, I want to explain to you a simple way to pre-record a presentation for an online event. So I wanted to just go quickly through my setup because I assume part of the presentation at least will be face to camera, a bit like now, and I'm recording this on my phone so I can show you a little bit of the setup as I go. So the first thing I want to point out is the camera that I'm using. It is a Logitech webcam. I think it's a 920. How good the camera is not that important, but it's important that it is a separate webcam to the screen of the computer. In this case, I have a laptop here that has the camera down here, but if I'm using that, then I'll always look down on the camera. But if I'm using a webcam that's placed on top of whatever screen I am using as my main screen, then it'll be at eye level and I'm going to be looking at it. So it's both about the quality being better than the camera in the laptop, but also about being at eye level. So that'll hopefully give you a good image or a good facial image. Then there's the microphone. This is a little bit of a fancier microphone, but even a headset will still be better. Just a normal headset that you can plug into your computer. That'll mean that the microphone is closer to your mouth and less room reflection, and it'll make a better sound for the recording. The last thing I wanted to point out is that I have my setup with natural light with a window in front of me, and that is really to make sure that there's plenty of light coming into me, so when the camera is focusing on my face, you can clearly see my face. If the window was behind me, then I would appear as a silhouette, and that is not good for a presentation. So the simplest way to actually pre-record a session, in my mind, is to use Zoom. You may use Zoom Live for a lot of things, but it actually makes a pretty good recording of PowerPoint sessions and any kind of speaking sessions. So what you do is you start a meeting just for yourself. So you don't invite anybody in. And you just make a meeting with yourself. You can do this with a free Zoom account, so it doesn't have to be a paid account. And what you do is once you're happy with the settings, so make sure that the microphone is selected. You also want to check what you have as your speakers. You might want to listen to what's going on just to be sure, and make sure that the right camera is selected. So to give you an example, if I'm using my webcam, then I'm always looking down like this, the one on my laptop. But if I'm using my separate webcam, then it's a much better view in that sense. So what you do here is you just press record and you choose record on this computer. And you do that before sharing your screen or doing anything like that. So now we're recording, and now I want to share my screen. So I'm going to load up my PowerPoint. I'm just going to go here, get to PowerPoint. And I want to load up my slides, assuming that you're using slides. If you're not, then obviously you don't need to do this bit. But if you are using slides, load up your slide deck and then go here to Zoom, share this screen. And this is a very important point. You want to click this button here, share your computer sound, so that if you have any videos, that the sound gets recorded in Zoom and in this recording. But you don't want to click on here because this says optimize screen share for video clip. What this means is that the little window that shows your face, that shows the webcam recording, will disappear. And in this case, we don't want that. So only click the first one that says share your computer sound. So when you do that, it will also have this little window here. In the recording, this will only appear in the top right-hand corner, but now you're recording the screen and you can go full screen. Make sure that this is the screen where your presentation is happening because that's the one that Zoom is recording. And if you have another screen, use that to control your presentation if you have the presenter view, for example. So you can go through your slides, record your session just as you would do live on stage. And then if you have a video, make sure that it's embedded in the slide deck and then play it automatically. Here, this is a video. So I just want to play it a little bit so that you can see that it recorded in the final thing. So when you're ready, when you finish your session, just stop sharing and then stop the recording and end your meeting. It's important that you end your meeting because it's only once you end your meeting that Zoom starts creating the file. So at the moment it says converting the meeting recording, and Zoom will essentially create an MP4 file out of the recording of your session. So it's doing that now, and when it's done, it should pop up the window. There you go. And now we can test to see what the recording looks like. It's just an MP4 file. We can open it up. And there we go. You can see me talking to camera as predicted. And when you get to the PowerPoint section, you'll see the PowerPoint, you'll see the full screen. And then I'll turn myself off just to see, but you can see in this corner, you can see that there's a little window there with the recording of the webcam as well as the slides playing. And then the sound from the video has come through. So that's a very, very simple way of recording pre-recording a presentation. And then what you want to do is take this file and put it on a Dropbox or Google Drive or some sort of system where you can share large files. If you have a half-an-hour presentation, that is going to be a pretty large file, even though it is quite compressed. So you won't be able to share that on email, but you should be able to use some kind of file sharing system to get that file where it needs to be. I hope you found that useful, and good luck with your presentation.